Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I am Tanvi Taneja. Yet another atrocity against Hindus has come to light in Bangladesh. This time, a Hindu woman has alleged that she was gang raped, tied to a tree and brutally tortured in Kaliganj Upazila of Jhenaidah district on Monday. Officer in charge, Jalal Hussain, said that the incident took place on December 31st, but the complaint was filed later as the victim was undergoing treatment in hospital. The woman was rescued in a critically injured condition and admitted to hospital. One accused has been arrested and police are continuing the investigation. In another incident, a Hindu businessman who was also the acting editor of a newspaper was fatally shot in the head by unidentified assailants on Monday in Jessore district in southern Bangladesh. The shooting marks the latest in a spate of violent incidents against minorities in the country, especially the Hindu community members. An investigation was launched into the incident. Bangladesh has been witnessing widespread unrest since the death of Sharif Usman Hadi in December. Hadi, a prominent political activist, youth leader associated with Inqilab Manch, a political platform that played a major role in the 2024 uprising that led to the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, was set to contest February polls in Bangladesh when he was shot in broad daylight. Hadi later succumbed to his injuries at a hospital in Singapore. The murder of grocery trader Moni Chakraborty in Narsingdi district has increased fear and anger across Bangladesh. His death comes amid a worrying series of killings of members of the Hindu community in recent weeks. Moni's killing raises serious concerns about public safety, minority protection and law and order ahead of elections. According to Palash police station officials, Moni Chakraborty was attacked and killed at Char Sindhur Bazaar in Palash Upazila on Monday. Police and locals said Moni was returning home after closing his shop when unknown attackers struck him with a sharp locally made weapon. He was rushed to the nearby hospital where doctors declared him dead. Fear has grown further after another incident on January 5th when Hindu businessman and journalist Rana Pratap was shot dead in public at Kopalia Bazaar in Jashore. Moni and Rana's killing have come while the country is still shaken by two other brutal incidents. On December 18th, Deepu Chandra Das, a garment worker in Mymensingh, was beaten to death over blasphemy allegations. His body was later tied to a tree and burnt. Deepu had been working at a garment factory for 2 years. Less than 2 weeks later, on December 31st, businessman Kakon Chandra Das was stabbed and set on fire in Shariatpur. He died 3 days later while receiving treatment in Dhaka. And DD India's Naval Singh Parmar joins us on the phone line from Dhaka. Naval Singh, well, these are serious incidents of minority violence in Bangladesh. Is the law and order really failing to curb these incidents? Has there been any reaction from the administration on these minority incidents of violence?
There is no any reaction from the Yunus administration as in last 24 hours, three very serious incidents happened in Bangladesh. One is in Jeshore where Rana Kanti Bairagi was shot dead yesterday night. At the same time, there was one alleged gang rape for a Hindu woman, and that was also reported after 5 days. That shows the seriousness of the issues, that things are not reported since for 5 days. Gang rape case was not reported. So that is the one thing. And the latest in this edition is the brutal killing of Moni Chakraborty, who is a grocery shop owner, who was a grocery shop owner, and he was killed yesterday night when he was returning from his shop to his home. The nursing is very nearby district Dhaka. It is like outskirt of Dhaka. So this kind of incidents have created fear among the people of minority community, particularly those who are of middle age and a business doing or bread earner, for the people of minority community. So this is the very serious matter. This shows the how the pathetic condition of law and order in Bangladesh, and there is no preventive mechanism, any kind of preventive mechanism to stop this kind of brutal killing of minority community. It is not just only Hindus; the other minority community like Buddhist, Christian, all are subjected to different kind of violence. Even in fact, media also in last fortnight there were attack on media. So the law and order is very serious issue in Bangladesh. Policing, there is no effective presence of police force on ground. So these are the very serious issues in Bangladesh.
All right. Thank you very much, Naval Sangh Parmar, for those details from Dhaka. Let me now bring in Sushil Kumar Singhal, former senior diplomat, on the story. Sir, welcome to DD India News. How would you explain the sharply rising trend of violence against minorities in Bangladesh? What are the key factors at work here? Also, a comment on the brutality of some of these attacks on minorities.
Well, the thing is that this political violence, particularly against the minority community, the latest pattern has started with after the assassination of Hadi, the political unrest. This is I would not agree with the assessment of the government of Muhammad Yunus that it's an isolated incident. In my view, it's a well planned thing what is happening, and because the pattern, this is in last 18 days the seventh killing, and the manner in which the killings are taking place, they are being lynched by the mob, which doesn't happen unless it is planned. Secondly, I think that the government is becoming of the government, the Yunus Muhammad led government is becoming ineffective, and because they are not able to enforce law and order, or because of their own question about their legitimacy, because they have an identity crisis at the moment. So, and politically, the situation is very fragile, and communications are breaking down because they are not only targeting minority community, even the media is being targeted. The people who are same voice in Bangladesh are being targeted, and this government is not making any effort, in my view, to curtail that. It is continuing, and because the main reason is that they are not willing to accept the responsibility, and the extremist element who are, in my view, responsible for these planned killing are part of the government, and the government, the Muhammad Yunus government, is supporting them, in my view, and that is why there is an ineffectiveness on their part, which is it's a causing problem for them, because their ultimate objective is to ensure that elections in February, which are being held here under pressure, are somehow postponed, because they feel the Jamaat Islam and the other extremist element will not be able to form the government. So whole idea is to somehow create situation, and along with that, create fear in the mind of minorities and the people who are neutral or who are secular, so that even if the voting takes place, they try to ensure that the people are not able to vote free.
Okay, expanding on what has been said, would you say the state, including the local police, acted promptly to arrest and charge the perpetrators of violence against minorities? Or would you say the state has actually played a part in quietly, or not so quietly, encouraging these atrocities against minorities? And if so, why?
Well, in my view, yes, they have been active passive participant, because why I'm saying that is that, as I said, Jamaat Islam, which is the main perpetrator, are the part of the government. And whole objective, in my view, of the government, of the present interim government, is the problem is with them that they lack legitimacy, and they are not able to govern the country. Economically, there is a problem. GDP is down. In 1 year, I think it must be a record for any country, that from growth rate of 7.5%, they have come down to 3% in 1 year, which clearly shows the mismanagement of the economics. Though, Professor Yunus is an economics professor, but still, because of the kind of advisors he has, a kind of support he is seeking. He's making sure that Bangladesh is grounded, economic development or growth rate is grounded. And but only objective, in my view, is that they are trying to get domestic support of the extremist element, because they have a question of crisis of legitimacy. So whole process is because of that.
And are other countries in South Asia possibly quietly encouraging this violence against minorities in Bangladesh?
Well, this just certain countries, because we know that our neighbor in the border from which Bangladesh separated, they are trying to fish in this troubled water at the moment, because it benefits them, because they don't have the resources, as we know, but they are trying to play the Islamist card, and trying to bring Bangladesh close to them, and forgetting that what they did in 1971. So for them, it's an opportunity. They are feeling that it's an opportunity for them to put India under pressure, because Bangladesh have been a close partner so far. Even today, they are very close partner when we look at economically and otherwise, because our on professional level they are talking. So which is not to the satisfaction of this country, and so they are trying to foment trouble to the extent possible, because the Jamaat-e-Islami, we know that to whom their loyalty lies in 71, even before and even after that. Everybody knows. So they are trying to encourage, I would say actively encouraging. Of course, I don't have the evidence. But the kind of statement they are making and kind of effort they are making clearly shows that they are trying to cause problem intentionally, to ensure, or to at least attempt to have an unstable neighborhood on the eastern flank of India.
And a word on India's stance on the violence against minorities in Bangladesh, sir?
Well, the India has made its position, I think, very clear from in the statement and in the discussion, as it being reported in the media, that they have encouraged this interim government to take effective action against the perpetrators. And I think there was some conversation at some level, and I see that rhetoric which was being played out by these so-called advisors, they have now toned down, but this violence is still not stopped. So what India is, I think, playing, in my view, which is the need of the hour, they're playing a quiet diplomacy, telling them privately to handle this kind of, if I can use the term, political unrest strongly. And but I think the public statements are not being made by the government intentionally, because they would like to work quietly on this, and they wait, I think, for the new government to take position, because we are all aware that this government, interim government, is not effective, and it's a temporary in any case, which will change after the February. A new government will be formed. So at the moment, I think that we are taking wait and watch, but with the strong measures of course, on our defense side, because we don't want their problems to spill over to India. But I think quietly we are talking to them, which is, I think, the perfect thing at this moment.
Okay. Such instability in any country does not augur well, especially when elections are just a month away. Thank you very much, Sushil Kumar Singhal ji, for putting for us in perspective Bangladesh politics at the moment.